let's get Ray Ratto in here from the CSN Bay Area. Ray, technically, Ray, I think your title is insider, but can we just call you muckraker? Is that better?
No.
No? You don't want to be a muckraker?
How about general pain in the ass?
Ray, I like that. Ray and I doubt, Ray, you remember, you used to do the Rome is Burning TV show on ESPN many, many years ago. I think we might have shared a panel in the C Block one or two times. But
I think we did because we are the C Block. and by the way,
yes,
the first 2 minutes of your soliloquy, where you raged against emojis and then started talking about avatars and Snapchat,
I realized.
Convinced me that you're like somebody who's dating Satan, but isn't going to put out until the day of the red wedding.
I kind of like that.
I don't like any of these things, but I know about all of them.
I realize the irony.
There.
I realize the irony. It's kind of like Melania saying cyberbullying is bad.
Well, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Pick a lane here, pal.
Exactly. It starts at home. Anyway, Ray, why wouldn't Russell Westbrook admit last night that he showed up in the photographer's vest to troll Kevin Durant? Why, if you're going to do it, just admit it.
Oh, no, you don't get this at all, do you? You're new.
Please explain, because own it. Why don't you own it?
You cannot keep an empty narrative going if you tip off the plot. I mean, one of the things that has made this last as interminably as it has is because there are little veiled shots across the bow from each of them, but neither of them really admits that it's a big deal, thereby allowing us to fill in the blanks with our own insane ways, thereby fueling it well beyond its normal shelf life. This thing should have died on July 20th. We're still talking about it in November. It's a tape loop in hell. It only works if you admit nothing. I mean, there are entire political campaigns built on that concept.
This is true.
With it. Yeah.
I think Westbrook is thrilled that Durant's gone. I think he wants to be the guy. He enjoys having the house to himself, but he wants to pretend as if he's offended and that this whole thing is somehow awful. But he's loving every minute of it.
Well, and here we go, because we don't know anything about what we're talking about, and yet we're talking about it.
Exactly.
He wins again. But my theory is that he is actually genuinely bent that Durant left because they were supposed to be the team that was going to win 3 or 4 titles together. And they got to one final and didn't win. And now that's not going to happen unless Westbrook either changes teams or Sam Presti finds another Kevin Durant somewhere. And I get his frustration. But the fact that we have glommed onto it and turned it into a narrative that eats itself like an Ouroboros means that he says, well, I'll have some fun with this. I'll make the reporters jump through flaming hoops for my own amusement. And we're trained dogs. We see a flaming hoop, we jump through it whether we want to or not. So I don't blame them, I blame us. Because we could just say, who cares whether they don't like each other? It's a business decision. These guys are all mini businesses with feet. That's what they are. And Kevin Durant made a business decision. And it's a business decision that leaves Russell Westbrook behind, not in a financial way, but in a possibility of winning a championship way.
Sure.
So, I get why he's bent. And but the rest of it I think is just showbiz that we've decided is really good showbiz. And that's why we don't get showbiz anymore. We think every little spat matters. And this is just preposterously unimportant. And the sooner we just go, God, I'm bored with this, the better the nation will be.
All right, I'm bored with it, Ray. Ray Ratto doesn't like the title muckraker, but that's what I'm going to call him. He's technically the senior insider for Comcast Sportsnet, CSN, in the Bay Area. It's 10 after. I'm Andrew Siciliano sitting in for Rich. Yes, Ray.
Let's meet halfway and just call me a muck harvester.
Muck harvester. That'll work. I like it, actually. I think it would look good on a business card. Ray, are the Broncos? Hey, I have news, actually. Aqib Talib, Ray, is not going to play this week. Are the Raiders going to beat the Broncos?
Well, this is a fascinating one because the Raiders have a tremendous offense, and the Broncos have a phenomenal defense. The Raiders have a terrible defense, or have had one, and the Broncos' offense is pretty mediocre. So you're going to have one of those, irresistible force, immovable object things on one side of the ball, and you're going to have one of the very movable things and completely resistible on the other. So I have no idea, because it's, if you had two great defenses, you could say, well, this defense is better than that one. So you can make a reasoned judgment. But it's strength against strength and weakness against weakness, which is the hardest kind of game to handicap for me. Do I think the Raiders can win? Sure they can. Do I think they will? I got no clue, which is why I'm going to be there. That's the fact that the alternative is Saints 49ers.
By the way, that report on Aqib Talib from our colleague James Palmer at NFL Network. How about this then, Ray? Does the Raiders' success this year, let's say playoff success, let's say they make the playoffs, does it have any impact on where the Raiders play next season? I know they say they're going to be in the Bay Area, but does it affect whatsoever, in any way whatsoever, their stadium drive there?
Nope.
Not at all.
There's not going to be a stadium in Oakland, period. That's it. That ship long ago sailed. Everybody's been upfront about it, and that's done. The question basically is left to 31 owners. Are they willing to let Mark Davis move to Las Vegas? And if so, at what price? And if they're not, is the Los Angeles option still going to be open for him when San Diego either does or doesn't exercise it? And if Vegas or L.A. is closed to Davis, he goes back to Oakland and he plays in the same stadium he's been playing in for 50 years. That's the deal. It's not what happens on the field has nothing whatsoever to do with this. And now I know it's going to bend 40 Raider fans who put up with 13 years of hideous football to get to this point. But no, they may as well be playing different sports on different planets. It's just got nothing to do with it. It's all about money. It's all about persuading billionaires to do your will without them extracting too large a hunk of flesh.
Ray, I got about 30 seconds left. Is there no one in the Bay Area with all the money from Silicon Valley, with the success that Silicon Valley has had buying into NBA teams, that won't say, Mark Davis, I'll make you whole. 30%, 40%, whatever you want to own, I'll make you whole. We'll honor your dad. We'll put up a statue. Let's buy the team, keep them here, and you could have whatever role you want with the team. That can't happen.
He doesn't want to give up much more of a chunk of the team than he's already given up. He owns like about 45%, somewhere, give or take a percentage point. And the fear that he has is that one way or another he's going to lose both operational control of the team and really any meaningful role at all. He still wants to be the guy, and he wants to get a stadium built basically with somebody else's money. And nobody does that kind of business. I mean, Sheldon Adelson, as weird as he is, offered $650 million. He didn't do that for free. And there's no money in being a landlord for an NFL franchise. The money is in owning a piece of the action. And Mark Davis doesn't want to give up a piece of the action if he doesn't have to. Now, he might have to at some point. And in that case, then, blood on the moon. But until then, no. I mean, that's what the fight on Mark Davis's end is. Can I get a stadium without losing the team I'm getting the stadium for?
Ray, what's your official title now? What do we decide?
GPA.
Muck harvester or pain in the ass. I'll leave that up to you and the list.
I'll take the latter. You should follow him, by the way, on the Twitter at Ratto CSN. That's 2 T's, Ratto CSN. Have fun at that Raider game, Ray. It's a pleasure, sir, as always.
Well, just remember, in about 15 minutes, you're going to feel much differently about the time we spent.
Thank you, Ray.
Take care.
All right.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.